You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
Welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. With us today is noted financial expert Andrew Arons. Andrew, you've been with us a number of times. When we last spoke in May, you were calling for a rally. It's happening now. The question is, how long is it going to continue? And have you missed the party already?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned the last time, I thought that the earnings still looked pretty good. And we did have a sell-off. And I expected that the market could be volatile, but I still predicted that we were in a bull market trend. And I continue to feel that way, Kerry. Earnings are pretty good. I know the market was scared about rising interest rates and inflation. And we've seen a pretty big gasoline collapse in the price of oil here, which has definitely helped. We've also had some pretty good news coming out that earnings and inflation may have peaked. So all this is looking pretty good for the market. Wall Street has been very defensive over the last several months. And, with the market retracing 50%, I think there's going to be a lot of cash in the near future that's going to redeploy into the market. And I do see the market, even recovering from the market lows from that we had in June.
So you think that it's just going to keep going? Like it was a blip in the road. Ukraine doesn't matter. Supply chain issues have all been fixed. China's doing great, and we continue on, huh?
Well, it's not exactly that easy. We do have a lot of problems, but the market does price things in the market, and usually that happens 6 months in advance. So I kind of think that we're kind of looking out and seeing where things may be 6 months from now, and we may be in a much better place. We have no idea how the geopolitical problems and how they still may exist. That may still be a problem, but the market, as I've always said, trades on earnings, and some of these companies look like they're doing pretty well. And we'll just have to see how things turn out. But in my opinion, the market was way oversold. I don't think there was a time where we saw the market so oversold besides March of 2020. The post.com bubble and in March 2009. So, when you see 73% of stocks in a bear market, we're seeing the breadth continue. It continues to improve in the market right now. I still think that, like I said before, a lot of Wall Street was very, very defensive. I don't think they thought that we were going to see such a quick recovery in the price of equities. And I still think there's a lot of cash on the sidelines that has to be redeployed. And interest rates are still very, very low. And I think that the market's going to move higher.
All right. Well, they always say, Andrew, that stocks climb on a wall of worry, right?
Right. I mean, the stocks are, Stocks have to, trend. And right now, the words were that we were in a recession. And when you look back since 1927, even if we were in a recession, but maybe Fed induced, the returns are really, really good. 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months out. I mean, 12 months after any recession, the S&P 500 was up over 28%. So we've had a very big retracement here. And I still think that, in my opinion, stocks are going to continue to move higher.
All right. So now the question is, as Louis Rukeyser used to say, the market will fluctuate. the market will tend to fluctuate. How much longer is it going to go higher? And then are we in the midst of a recession? And is this just a sucker rally, a bear market rally, or is it the real deal?
Yeah, I mean, I think in my opinion, we were probably carving out a long-term bottom. I still think that we are in a bull market. Usually, you don't see during a recession strong employment gains. Unemployment fell to 3.5%, which is a pretty good number. And it looks like people are getting back to work. And we've had a horrible pandemic that we've been dealing with the last several years, and we're kind of coming out of it now. Obviously, we still have supply chain issues, but as we retrace, there will be some volatility and some resistance. And I think you typically see that resistance right around the 50% retracement, where some people may think that we're in a sucker's rally and want to pull some money out. But I think that, as I've said before, that earnings look pretty good. Stocks look cheap to me. I've been doing this close to 30 years, and I still think that this market is heading higher.
All right. And so obviously every boom ends with a bust, and every bust ends with a boom. So what are the sectors you should be looking at here? What is going to do best, perform best in this type of market, Andrew?
Well, as I was talking about a little bit over a year ago when I was on your show, we were talking about a rotation to value, and that I think was overdone. And then we saw a big sell-off here in the NASDAQ, and I think that was overdone. I still think you're going to see a lot of money going into technology and in the pharmaceutical area. Money was in energy, and I think that money may move out of energy as we see prices of oil come down. So I still think technology and pharmaceuticals are probably the best area right now in the market.
Yeah. Okay. So it's still tech, and obviously tech has had its issues. We've seen Facebook really devalued. We've seen basically Amazon get hammered, and Apple, they're going to come back, huh?
Don't just survive, thrive. The Financial Survival Network.
Torq Resources is an exploration company establishing a portfolio of premier copper-gold early-stage projects in Chile. Torq's management and technical teams have a strong track record of raising capital, discovery, and monetization of exploration successes. The company's Margarita copper-gold project is located within the prolific coastal Cordillera Belt in Chile, which hosts some of the world's largest and most profitable copper mines. The Margarita project possesses excellent discovery potential for a major copper discovery due to the strength of the alteration system, large-scale magnetic targets, and the presence of copper oxide mineralization. Drilling is anticipated to begin in Q3 of this year. Torq trades in Canada under TORQ and on the OTC under TRBMF. To learn more, go to torqresources.com. That's torqresources.com.
This is the Financial Survival Network, the information you need to thrive now more than ever.
Well, I mean, looking at even Amazon, as you just mentioned, I mean, it's rallied back 40% here off the lows in the last 6 weeks. So it looks like, Amazon is doing pretty well. I think they've got an excellent business model, as we all know, and I think that they're going to continue to do well in the future. Some of the other stocks that I like out there right now, just in the current market, that I think may do well here. I do like Boeing, which is out of that sector. I think Boeing may do very well going forward. People are doing a lot of traveling right now, coming out of the pandemic, and I think that may be a major beneficiary. Also, as they just delivered their Dreamliner, the first that they delivered in 15 months. And I think that there's a lot of back orders right now for Boeing. And I just think right now, as we see the consumer still spending and doing more traveling as we come out of this pandemic, I think that they could be a big beneficiary.
All right. So they delivered their first 787, and, it looks like basically Airbus has been eating their lunch, but there's just too much demand. So there needs to be two suppliers in the world, I guess. So maybe you have a point there. Travel. So what about the hotel chains, the airlines? Airlines have really been getting smashed. They can't seem to put planes in the air anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's a problem, with air traffic controllers and getting enough air traffic controllers. That's been a major problem. Getting back to travel, lodging has done very well. Marriott came out with pretty good earnings, especially their top tier hotels have done very well. Ritz-Carlton has done very well. So I continue to see the consumer spend. And I do think that, as we come out of this pandemic, this is the trend that's going to continue. Also, Disney has done pretty well in the last several weeks. I think that stock is oversold and may do very well in the future as well.
All right. Well, hey, so happy days are here again, huh, Andrew?
I'm not, I don't want to say that there's never bumps in the road. There are bumps in the road. But I think that, markets don't go straight up. It's always great to have a long-term investment strategy and to have discipline in the markets and to take advantage of some of your favorite stocks when the market sells off. And I think that we've had a really good buying opportunity in the last 3 months. And I continue to think that stocks are relatively cheap right now, and that the market should do pretty well as we go into the end of the year.
All right. Well, hey, I'm game here. Perhaps you're right. I like the fact that you're kind of contrarian about this, because contrarians usually are right more than the vast majority. And I guess we're just going to have to see. Hey, one stock we didn't talk about, love to get your viewpoint on. Tesla. It's back over $900 per share. There's a split coming. There's Twitter. There's Elon Musk just sold $7 billion worth of stock, and the company just keeps moving on.
Right. I mean, I talked about it even on the last show. I do think that Tesla is an excellent company. They've got some great product. I do think that there will be competition. Obviously, right now they don't have much competition, but that's going to, I believe, get worse for them in the future. I do think it's a very volatile stock, which has a lot of upside potential. But if we do get some bumps in the road, it's a very, very volatile stock. So that would be for, some pretty aggressive investors.
All right. So aggressive investors, and it keeps charging on. Its sales keep going up, and it's become a force of nature, effectively, right? So
right. Oh, it does very well when the markets are doing well. The stock, and they are obviously a leader, and they're a force to be reckoned with right now.
All right. Well, we like your optimism, and we're only hoping that you're correct. We didn't even talk about the dollar soaring, the effect that has on exports from the U.S., from airplanes to everything. So much going on in the world. But Andrew, if we want to find out more about you and see your work, where do we go?
You can go to my website at synergyamg.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have regarding our market commentary. And Terry, thanks for having me on your show.
Always a pleasure. Hey, what do you think about the market? Where do you think it's heading? I'd love to hear from you. You think you agree with Andrew that it's going up and away, or is it going to fall back to earth, much like Icarus, because he flew too high too close to the sun? That's what we'd like to know. So shoot us an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. And don't forget, when you're at the site, financialsurvivalnetwork.com, please sign up for our free newsletter. Comes out weekly, although it was away last week and it didn't, but it'll be going out later this week. Andrew, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks, Kerry.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.